G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Sunday, the 15th of the 10th, 2017, and the time here is 18:39 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well, folks, plenty to go through. There's been lots that has been happening in the world, and unless you're living under a rock, then you obviously don't know about half the stuff that's been happening. Excuse me. There's actually so much going on that it's hard to keep up. So let's go through some of this stuff. This is a video from Planet X News, or Scott at Planet X News. This is without doubt one of the best videos done by a Planet X researcher of recent times, and he's done it with the doctor. You know, it defies the current government meme of, yeah, everything's okay. You've only got to actually, go through this and watch this, which I recommend you all do, to know that, yeah, things are pretty screwed up. This part here of the video, and, all of it actually, Scott somehow got the link to the satellite. Not exactly sure which one which one it was. And in this video, it's hard to describe unless I show you. It's just incredible. Look where Australia is there, folks. It's up past the equator. Now, as the video goes through, at one stage, Africa, I'll turn the volume off for a sec. Africa is almost at the North Pole. I'm wondering if I've gone too far. Like these images are not Scott's images. Here we go, that's it there. That was a good guess, wasn't it? Have a look at how far Africa is. It's almost at the North Pole. And when I saw this video, I wrote to Scott and I said, well, mate, look, honestly, you need to be commended because this is just something else, this video. Like, if it doesn't galvanize you enough to make you realize that, yeah, something is seriously screwed up. And this was for the 2015-2016 year, I believe. And as someone who lives in Australia, and obviously, we were telling everyone that, it was just murder. The temperatures just shot through the roof. We had tropical storms. I was living in Perth at the time. I'm now in Queensland. We had tropical storms in Perth at the time, dumped 120 mils in February. So, it's fixed in my mind as to how bad it was. The sun was coming up everywhere except where it was supposed to be. And this video clearly tells you why, or shows you why, and tells you why that happened. And like I'm saying, look at where Africa is. And believe it or not, this is one of the earlier ones. It still goes further up. Look, it's almost at the North Pole. That's why it was raining, snowing in Saudi Arabia. So, all these times when people like myself and, everyone else have been telling people, or even you listening, knew that something was wrong, well, yeah, it bloody was really wrong. You weren't crazy. And this video will 100% convince you that you weren't, by the way. So, as I said, go and watch this video. And Scott and the doctor do a breakdown after the fact, and they go right through it, and it is just fantastic. Seriously. If you're not happy after watching this video, then I don't know what else to say. You know, we've now got oceans that are receding again, typically in Brazil. So look, folks, so the signs are all there. Look, you know, have a look at California, or have a look at what's happened to America this year. Somebody in the American government forgot to go and buy a lottery ticket because I don't know what they've done. Is it terrorism? I don't know. Who knows? But you've got to, it's gotten to the point now where you've got to sit back and literally just say, this is crazy. You know, this place here just got absolutely razzed to the ground. You know, it's hard to fathom. Like, you're just looking at it going, from someone who grew up in Australia with and prevalent bushfires every single year, I can't even in my mind fathom what's going on here in the superpower of the world. Like, you're talking like 6,000 homes now or something, isn't it? The reason I wanted to bring this up is because this, you know, as sad as this is, this should teach everybody that no one's going to come and help you. There isn't going to be anyone coming to help you, folks. You're basically on your own, and you've got to make sure that you pull your finger out and you've got everything prepared and ready. And that's what the point of this video by today is. You've got to, somewhere along the line, you've got to start realizing that, you know, you've got to be ready. There's people that lost everything in these things, and that's sad. It really is. But I can also tell you that there was people that had an RV packed full of gear, all their personal possessions, or the majority of their personal possessions, their paperwork, their, you know, the stuff they really needed, passports, etc. And they drove out of there a couple of days before this fire hit. So who's the stupid ones? The ones that left or the ones that stayed? You know, you've got one family that's that's now sleeping in an RV, their own RV, and there's the families that are sleeping on the ground probably. Because where the hell are you going to put, you know, this many people? 6,000 houses, folks. How many families is that? Or, sorry, how many people is that? So my point is, no one's coming to save you. No one. And this was in affluent areas, by the way, as far as I'm being told. Here, this is what I wanted to show you. These guys are very limited on resources. Every engine has got multiple structures to try and protect, and you just can't save everything. So when it gets to the point where it's, okay, well, everyone's house is burning, what they do is they just step back and they just let them all burn. They try and save one or two here and there, but if they can't, what's the point? And my point to you is, be someone in an RV with your personal belongings not an idiot standing there in a swimming pool watching your house burn to the ground and all your clothes and all your possessions. You know, given those people's time back, I'll guarantee you I would 100% guarantee that they wish they had an RV and they had a little bit of time and they thought about things instead of, oh, well, it was 10:30 at night and we woke up and everything was on fire. Well, how bloody stupid are you? The whole point of this is these videos, the whole point of this whole research group, the whole point of everything is we're trying to build a community and we're trying to foster people's will to live and prepare. So I hope that makes sense. And having said that, it's now time for people to start coming together as a community. Now I'm here in southeast Queensland. We're going to hold a meeting on the 25th of the 10th. It's being hosted by myself. Now, the only way you can get to this meeting is by emailing me. If you live in southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, well, you know, if you're from Victoria and you want to come, by all means come. It's up to you how far you want to travel to this meeting. The meeting's been held on the 25th of the 10th, 17, and this will be mainly about building communities, or preparing and building communities, a like-minded community that can thrive and survive in the future. Because as I said to you folks, if you go and watch that video, then you will know 100% that the shit is about to hit the fan. So basically, folks, if you want to go, send me an email and I'll tell you what time and date it, or hopefully it's on the 25th. I'll give you the venue, place and time. We've chosen Wednesday because that's the middle of the week. If that doesn't suit everyone, if I get the feeling that it should change something else, then I'll change it. But we would all prefer probably Wednesday. That way you don't spend hours and hours and hours there. You can do a couple of hours and then go home and have another one. But that's what we're aiming for at the moment. So if you'd like to go, as I said, there's my email address there at the bottom, prepaussie@gmail.com. Send me an email and let me know. Right, a couple of things to show you. The reason I'm showing you these is because there's kind of no point in me testing anymore. Yes, I like doing it, but that's not the point. Look, I've got hundreds and hundreds of videos that I can show you. And I've always promised you that I would show you all the videos, but the truth of the matter is, folks, it takes hours to do these things, and you know what? I just don't think it's relevant anymore. If a man and a doctor are showing you that the earth tilted, you know, something like 40 degrees in a video, then why is there any relevance to the fact of a tested video that I'm doing? Well, as I said, I wasn't going to do too many more videos. Well, what I'm going to start doing from now on is actually trying to concentrate on building the community together more, because I think that's more important now than me showing you pictures and tests. Because quite frankly, if you're sitting there watching them, then I'm starting to wonder, you know, and I'm sitting there doing it and I'm starting to think, well, maybe I'm wasting my time. maybe my time would be better spent doing other things. So what I am going to show you is what I can see, and hopefully train your eyes to see these things as well. Because as I said to you, someone said to me a while ago, you're going to be given the eyes to see. So very clearly, this is the picture of the sun. But if you look directly under it, there's a huge shadow exactly underneath the sun. Now, you don't have to be Einstein to work out that there's something massively wrong there. And before anyone sends me any, and actually, by the way, you can send them to me because I don't get them because YouTube's cut my thing off. So you can send me whatever you want, but I can't read it and I can't respond to it anyway. So tough crap. You can send me whatever you want. There is a planet there, folks. And the reason why it's dark is because it's actually behind the sun. Oh, sorry, in front of the sun. It's actually in front of the sun. That's why it's dark. And the sun is illuminating it from behind. Hence the dark shadow. And you can obviously see the other little ones here and there, around and about. Now, this was a picture from a Cancun video. Now, so let me expand it. Now, you can obviously see the bloody great massive figure in front of it there. There's another one there. There's another one there. They're actually everywhere on this picture. The thing to take note of as well is that's the sun over here. What is this over here? They're two completely different light sources, folks. That is not traveling through to here, believe me. And look at the reflections on the water. The sun has actually come out, has actually gone down more or less here. So what the hell is this? There you go, it gives you a better picture. There's no two ways about it. Now, I've made a good friendship with a guy in America called Gary. And Gary sits there and watches the FAA advisory weather stations. And even though I said to him, you're wasting your time because they're compromised because of the bloody who they are, Gary, in his own belligerence, told me I was a wanker and said, no, there's definitely stuff there. I'm going to show you. And I said, okay, mate, whatever you want. And to his credit, he keeps sending me stuff that is just undeniable, folks. Have a look at that. Now, like I said, I'm not testing this stuff anymore because of the fact that I'm getting sent pictures every single day now that I don't even need to test anymore. So if I'm getting pictures that I don't need to test anymore, then that tells me that we've got a real problem on our hands. And here you go. This is for the trolls. Okay, let's rule out 70% of them. Sorry, it's 75% in it. So you take 75 out of your 100%. That leaves you with 25%. You take another 5% out of that, that's 80. So what's the other 20? This is what always gets me about this argument. You can tell me it's a lens flare, you can tell me this and that and everything else, but okay. There's so many things on pictures now that you A year ago, a little bit later or further, you could actually say, because all we had was one thing on an image. Well, how the hell can you sit there and tell me that this huge thing in the sky with all these other objects with it is a lens flare? And by the way, it's behind a cloud if you haven't noticed. And then if you look up here, look, what the hell are they? They're not clouds. Just so everyone realizes what I'm saying, these are not clouds. That's a cloud. You can clearly see that that's a cloud. This frigging great pink thing here is not a cloud. This was sent to me by, I sent this to Jeff P, if I remember. When was the last time anybody ever saw a diamond-shaped sun? Look, it's a diamond. It's a straight, verifiable diamond. Here's another one of interest. Okay, you sort of saw the pink thing on here, which is another thing. Now, I can't confirm one way or another whether that is or isn't. It seems extremely odd to me that it's actually mixed in with the clouds, but the fact that there's other pink things here makes me rule it out. But what I'm not ruling out is all the objects inside this cloud here, which you can see. The bloody great big thing sitting in the sky here that you can clearly see. These are objects, folks. These are not figments of your imagination. They're not dust spots. And all of these here on the horizon. The veritable cornucopia of planets. Look, around here. And as I said, I'm not testing them because I don't have to anymore. Because I guess what I'm asking you is to open your eyes just a bit so you can actually get rid of the cognitive dissonance and you can actually see for yourself. Because these things are everywhere now, folks. The only thing that's stopping you from seeing them, look, up here, just follow my cursor. It's just the sheer fact that your brain can't comprehend that they're there. And that's the honest truth. This is from Gary again. Anyone see a problem here? No. Why is there a sun over here and then another completely different light source over here? And there's the pink orb again. Look, clearly visible. You just got to look, folks. You don't need me to do the tests to find these things for you. You can actually see them for yourself because they are there. Oh, this one's a classic. Can you see what's wrong with this picture? Watch this. What the hell is that? Here's the sun over here. What is this? Well, I actually think that's the sun. For all I know, this is the sun, and this is something completely different. And look just below it, and there's the pink orb again. And look over here, there's another one. That's how clear and how relevant these are all the time now, folks. You just can't miss them. Look, you just have to let your mind see. Get rid of the cognitive dissonance, because it's there, folks. They're there. They're there all the time now. You can't not see them. The sky doesn't make concentric circles everywhere, folks. That's my point. It doesn't just decide that it wants to make circles everywhere. Here you go, look right in front of you. Look at that one there, right in the middle. I have no idea what that is. That's why I kept this picture. Plus the fact that it's got all these other objects inside of it. But this to me looks like a massive UFO. I don't even know what that is. Maybe it's some blokes going for a joyride or something, I don't know, but I couldn't figure it out. I've seen this image a lot, and I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is. I'm not even going to try to tell you what it is. Because of the way it's shaped, etc. I think it's a bounce back image from the camera, but I'm not 100% sure, so I can't say it is or it isn't, if that makes sense. I can tell you that this one here isn't, or these ones here are. That one there, these ones here, they're all over the show, folks. They're everywhere now. The problem is that they're trying to stop you from seeing them. Look on the horizon, down the bottom here. If you really train your eye, you can see them, you can pick them out. And no, they're not pixels or bloody anything like that. You know, people wish they were, but they're not. Here's the same thing. Oops, sorry. Look in the horizon. Just look at the horizon. Look. If you think it's, you know, they're chemtrailing to hide something, then you're 100% right. Because these things are everywhere, folks. Look how big these things are. Look. These are not clouds, folks. Look, they're everywhere. Look in the clouds. One day, very soon, we're going to wake up and something's going to go terribly wrong with whatever this is that they're doing. and we're all going to be standing there with our jaws around our kneecaps going, holy shit. Now you've seen this picture, let your eyes adjust. Do it on your own time if you want, but then just go through this picture and you can see my point as to just how many there are. Do you think the clouds make up circles all around the place like that? Like this? Like this? No, of course not. And I just want to point something out to you guys as well. Pixelation is square. Look, if I expand that right up, it's square. Pixelation is square. It's thousands of little squares that form a picture. Nowhere in the information booklet does it say how squares turn into circles. Can't remember why I kept this one. Oh, that's right. There you go. There's the pink orb again. Sitting up there, having a good old jolly old time, sitting amongst the chemtrails so no one can see me. And this proves my point. Have a look at all the pixels. Square, 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 square. And of course the figure comes out of the square. Oh, this was superb. This one really got me. Explain this one to me, folks. There's the sunset. You can actually see the sun setting. What the hell is this? And while you're at it, what the hell is that at the back? Because that light there is not causing this light down here. Because that, as you can see, is sitting sort of forward of these clouds a bit. You can actually see the actual sunlight from it here going down to there. And if you notice, that light there is completely different than that light there. And explain to me what the hell this is here. Struggling to hide it now, folks. Struggling to hide it. Here's another classic one. Right, let's go through this. Sorry, start at the bottom. Okay, which one's the sun? Because the sun's setting over here somewhere. So what the hell is this? And what the hell is this? This picture makes no sense. And also, what is this massive great object here? And the other one over here. And if you look closely, you can actually see a bigger one even at the back of those. And like I said, if you want to stop the video and look for yourself later, please do so. But they are everywhere in this picture, folks. Look at the size of that thing. It's not a cloud. And when you start to look at it properly, you'll see just how many there are. What are these? Look at this. And once again, you've got two completely different light sources. That light source there is nothing like the light source at the bottom. Excuse me. This one's really hard to explain. There's so much going on in this picture. It's hard to say. Look at the size of these things here at the bottom there. And if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, it just can't be. Well, I'm sorry, folks, but I haven't even tested them, and they're sitting there. The reason I haven't tested them is so you can actually see them as they are. I don't need to test these anymore because they're friggin' everywhere. That's how prevalent these are now. Don't believe me? Look up here. Look at these in here. And look in there. As I said, go back, look for yourself later. This was a picture sent to me recently from a lady in Australia. And this was taken at the beach just down from my house in southwest Queensland. None of us can figure out in the research group what the hell that is. Not one of us. This was taken at 6:47 in the morning. We're not even sure if that's a lens flare. Sorry. We're saying it is, but this thing here is definitely not a lens flare. This is a picture taken in northern New South Wales, just down the road, a couple of hours down the road from where I am. At first I thought this was a lens flare, but then when I tested it, I realised it wasn't, because it's actually sitting behind this line of chemtrails that you can see. This was a picture, if I remember, from Neil Oakley, from one of his videos. You can clearly see the objects right next to the sun. And there's not just one or two of them, folks. There's bloody hundreds of them. And that's why the sun is kicking off so much at the moment. This is a great picture. There you go, folks. Explain this one to me. What is that? And you can actually see the planet. The planet's with it. I'll zoom back out so you can actually get the gist of it. Yeah, what is that? And I can't even tell you if that is actually the sun, by the way, because I looked at it a few times and you can see the sun. What scares me about this picture is that there's three distinct signs of, something being there. And if you look in the back of the picture, you can actually see that it seems like the sun is further back. And if you cast your eyes to the left, what the hell is this thing over here? Look. The sun just doesn't, or the sky just doesn't wake up and go, let's make a heap of circles in the sky today, folks, just to confuse the shit out of everyone. It doesn't work like that. So what is this huge, huge thing here? And then when you start looking at this, it gets even more complex because you can clearly see this sun, whatever this is. I don't know what, I can't honestly say that that's the sun. I personally think the sun is in the background here. I have no idea what these are. That was taken, as you can see, on the 24th of the 9th. What's going on here? Once again, is that the sun? I don't think so. I can't remember who sent me this picture. It's a bloody good picture. And obviously, what the hell is that on the right-hand side of the sun? These are the sort of things that are going on at the moment with these images of the sun from NASA and whatnot. Now, what you're looking at is exactly how the image was portrayed on the actual screen. They blotted this bit out, and Mark sent it to me and said, "Can you have a look at it?" He said, because it seems weird that they've, blotted it out. Well, the reason they blotted it out, folks, was so you wouldn't see what was there, obviously. So can you see this frigging huge planet here? Or, well, actual fact, let me correct myself. If you actually look, there is a whole system of planets just here in this quadrant. That's why they blocked it out. There's also one here. Look at the size of that thing. These things are everywhere, folks, everywhere. The sun is literally blank. 3/4 of the sun at the moment is literally blanketed in these things. This was fantastic work. This is from Neil Oakley. Now, is there anyone out there who wants to tell me that this is not two sunsets? Here is the sun setting, or we think it's the sun setting, because it looks familiar, and we have no idea what is causing this massive white light. If you haven't seen this video that he did on this, go and watch Neil Oakley's video, because it's just astounding. It's clearly two sunsets. This was sent in to me from someone in America. Sorry, I can't remember the name, but look at that. When was the last time you saw a sun that looked like that? That scares the crap out of me, actually. Just the weirdness of it. Look at it. The hell is that? This was taken in northern New South Wales again. You can see the chemtrail, obviously. What the hell is that? And it ain't no lens flare, folks, let me tell you. Because that's the sun down there, and this is behind the clouds in the sky. And it's no lens flare. Tested it, proved positive. And then have a look at these. But look at that. That's got to be one of the better pictures I've ever seen of it, actually. I can't remember if this was northern New South Wales or it was Oklahoma. I can't remember. One of the two. And obviously, you've seen all these. This is a picture that Scott sent to me the other day from Planet X News, and he said, have a look at this. He said, when was the last time you saw a sun like this? He sent it within the research group. And I said to him, tested it and sent it back to him, and I said, you missed the planets in it. Look, clearly see them. Whatever this thing is that they're using up there is trying to hide this stuff. My honest opinion is, I don't know about too much about this sun simulator or whatever, but I'm starting to think it works like the occulta disc, and it's just hung out in the sky, you know, off this IS. This is taken from the ISS again, and it's, you know, they're trying to baffle us with bullshit, but it ain't working, unfortunately. This was sent to me. I think this is Jason A. I think Jason's son. Can't remember. But the image was just fantastic. Look at this. This is the sun. Well, we think that's what the sun is. And here's this other image here. And look at all the planets there, folks. This is what I'm saying. I don't even have to test them anymore. Look, they're just sitting there in the friggin' sky. You just have to, you obviously can't see them too well because of the sun and everything else, but these things are here now, folks. They're not here tomorrow. They're here now. Yeah, it was Jason. Look at the size of this object here. This one really shocked me, actually. Now, that's the sun. Just look at the size of these objects. That's the sun. Look at the size of this thing. Look at this one next to it. Another one over here. Another one there. Another massive thing up here. Another one over here. This looks like a nothing picture, where in actual fact, these are not clouds, folks. Look at that image there. Look, right in front of you. As I said, they're there all the time now. I don't even have to test them. This was one of the research group, Tim from the research group, sent this picture in. That's how many there are in the sky, folks. As I said, just let your eyes adjust and you can see them for yourself. They're all there. Now, you can't tell me, as I said to you before, okay, let's get rid of 80% of them. What are the other 20? This is sent in from Tom in the research group. And this was outside his work, apparently. Now, ask yourself this question, folks. This is a serious question to ask yourself, as talking about prepping and everything else. If a man walks out of his office and takes a picture where there's something over here, but the sun is actually over here, and he thinks he's not even sure what this is, and the sun is actually over here, what the hell? Just ask yourself this question. If a person's taking pictures of this and sending it in, isn't there something wrong? Doesn't that tell you that something's wrong? Because look at this picture. I did test this, and there's a massive planet here. Because it's impossible for the sun to cast its rays up here, like it is here, reflecting off this cloud, and then to be going perpendicular again, straight down off the front of this cloud. It can't happen. Just want to show you guys this actually. In our research group, we took pictures that Tom took pictures of these in Tennessee in the US well before anybody was mentioning these sunspots on the just thought I'd mention that to you all because we knew they were there, but we didn't put much significance into it because of the fact that it was just one small group of things. Although a lot of people seem to want to make a big thing out of it. There's a date that he picked it there. I think it was just after the eclipse. What's that look like to everybody? Red Kachina. But look, folks, I'm going to leave it there. To everyone in Australia, remember, send me an email if you want to attend this meeting, and I'll send you an email telling you exactly where it is and what time. Please make sure you can make it. It'd be good to meet everybody. I'll be there, obviously. Have a bit of a meet and greet, and we'll start preparing or start on the road to building a community and preparing like we did in Perth. And as always, folks, we'll end in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory for ever and ever. Amen. God bless everyone. Prep out.